had our chances, when we were able to get a little lead there, 56-50, and some other times where, we were stuck on that number and we just couldn't make shots. And again, if we, I thought defensively we were okay. I mean, De Silva's a really good player, man. He's one of the best players, in the conference. I think, just based off what I've been watching on tape and then seeing him, now today, and he's. So it was a tough one. Obviously, a tough loss.
17-3 at the end. What did you make of that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was 14-2 at the end versus Stanford, and it's basketball. Happens. They're clutch players. They're their best players. The three that De Silva hit was a kill shot. When it was a 2-point game, we needed a stop. The clock was running down, and he stepped up and drained it. So, and then we had other chances. We just didn't. We didn't do our part offensively to generate enough points to win.
Is it a lot of lack of patience on offense? Was that a running thing?
I thought late in the game, as after he hit that three, those last couple of possessions were really bad, to end it. But overall, I was okay and happy with the players that were taking the shots for the most part. We had some bad turnovers. You can't turn the ball over after you just turn them over. We did that one time, and there was another one in front of our bench that we lost the ball out of bounds. We just, you can't afford to do that when you're playing against a team that's playing pretty well.
You think they maybe were a little bit more hungry, having lost to you the way they did up there?
I'm sure there's a little more incentive, on their end. It's hard to judge that or know that for sure, but yeah, I mean they played a quality game. They played through De Silva a lot. You always had to account for Simpson. Their other players made some shots, like Ruffian. Those 2 threes he hit were big threes in the game. So they did what they had to do, to win, a very close game where there wasn't a whole lot separating both teams.
Is it still one? Oh, go ahead. Is it still one game at a time for you, or are you thinking about the tournament at all with a loss like this?
I mean, you can't. We have to try and figure out and win Saturday. That's all I'm thinking about right now. It's it's a tough loss. The guys are demoralized to a degree in there. You played a winning game. You just didn't have enough to finish it.
It seemed like when your offense isn't great, it's just hard to get separation on teams consistently from a game-to-game basis. How does that have a cumulative toll on just dealing with that?
I'm just a little distracted. Could you just repeat that, Chris?
Yeah. Is there a cumulative toll to when you're not able to get separation on teams game after game because of just offense not firing out cylinders?
I'm not sure, how that impacts their mentality. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the half, we didn't finish the half well again. That was kind of like Oregon a little bit here, where we had an 8-point advantage, 30-22 and 32-24, and then they scored a final 8. So didn't finish the half well, didn't finish the game well. As to exactly why, you just got to review the shots. What's going on here? Review the shots that were taken, see what is there, an animal over there or something? What are we doing?
It's just some people working back in
942. Got it. Okay. So yeah, I'll watch the tape and watch the film and see, what those shot attempts looked like. But, it's hard to gauge that right now.
How was Warren as far as, did you have the minutes limit on him, and where do you think he was stamina-wise coming off the sickness?
He did some nice things in the second half. Had a good post move. Had the roll for the dunk to start the half. So that was good to see him do that. Not a great matchup for him because of how much perimeter defense he needs to play, considering their lineups, and we couldn't make them pay. That's why De Silva and him playing the 5, they're a tough matchup because they really still can rebound and defend the paint relatively well. Even with that smaller lineup, we couldn't take advantage of Warren the way maybe I thought we could have when they took Lovering out of the game. But to answer the question on the minute count, I was trying. I took him out. I think 16-40 in the second half. He just looked winded. Usually he would have stayed a few more minutes under normal conditions. It's hard to simulate missing a week and then having a few practices. So, but overall, for what he's been through, I think he did pretty well.
It seemed like you generated a lot of good offense early in the game. DJ Horns, comes out, he's shooting it. You get the high post stuff, slips and all that. Just did you like the how you guys were doing overall before kind of how things ended?
I mean, they were switching a lot early, and they were switching Lovering on to DJ, and so those were good mismatches for us. And he was able to create space and get off pretty clean looks. But yeah, we were flowing pretty well on offense. We had 20 points, I think, at the 11-minute mark in the first half, and so for the rest of the next 30, we only scored, 39. I'm not great at math, but it was 39, I think, for the next 30 minutes. So we got to find more ways to score. We didn't get to the free throw line either, really. That's another issue. I mean, we only took 5 foul shots. So, we had as many field goals as Colorado did. We just, we couldn't find additional ways to put some points on the board.